Woman down there. Doesn't she look like a douchebag? He says, sir, that's my wife. I says, I'm sorry. Can I buy her a drink? Can I make amends? He says, yeah. He says, what does she drink? He says, vinegar and water. Next day I came in, I'm standing there looking at this girl. The bartender says, I don't know what you're thinking of, but that's my wife. I says, I'm not thinking of anything. Give me a piece of beer.
Not much. Not much, he's not
Ah, you're all wet. Here's one. How many people belong to an organization? Any kind of organization. Whether it's a church, Kiwanis, Lions, Rotary, Women's Club, B'nai B'rith, Knights of Columbus. See if this pertains to you. Raise your hands. All organizations have this in common. Approximately 20 to 40 members, 6 attend and 2 are active. Another one. The president has been president for over 2 years because nobody wants the job. You got a deadhead in the organization who's a charter member who always votes negative and influences everyone to vote negative. If the charter member is here, don't look at him. You discuss how to recruit, how to raise money, how to do activities. You never have Eventually, you lose all the membership except for the dedicated 6. Now the organization is very active and they do everything under the sun. They build park benches, they build bus stops, everything. But they do one activity that destroys them entirely and makes them not function. They recruit 42 members. Yeah, we got 1.5 minutes yet.
They're not coming in that rain. They're not coming in that rain, and we're staying here.
They don't know about the staircase.
Hey, next to you, he's the biggest crook here, this guy. Yeah. Okay, jokers.
You got jokers in there?
I leave the jokers in because if I leave them out, the rest of the edges get dirty, and then if I put the jokers in, you can tell where they are. Okay? Cut the deck. Anywhere, completely.
Got the right guy.
Now,
He's the right one.
watch. I just shuffled the deck, and I just cut it. 7 of diamonds, jack of clubs. I think it's a 3 of diamonds, but it's a red 3. 7 of diamonds, jack of clubs. It is a 3 of diamonds. If we were playing stud poker, I know all the hole cards. If we're playing blackjack, I know the whole cards. I'll do it again. Watch. Black, deuce, 9, queen. Deuce, 9, queen. I'll show you what I did. These are peaks. Normally, you hold the deck like this to deal. I'm holding the deck where my finger is stopping the card from moving. Can't slide. This thumb, instead of being on this side where you usually push the cards, I'm keeping on this side. So when I push, I buckle and look in. That's a 8 of spades on top of the deck. I just look right in. Now, I can have money card case, ashtray, anything in the way, I move it aside and I just look at the top card. That's a 3 of diamonds. As I deal it, I look at the next one. That's a queen. As I deal that, that's a jack. And I looked at...
Lifting up the deck, it's tilting.
I didn't see him lift.
So how are you looking? How are you seeing?
Okay. Do it again. Watch.
Well, he holds his hands.
I push, and I'm looking right inside. That's a king of spades on top of the deck.
That's all he needs.
That's all. I look right in. That's a king of spades. As I deal that, I look at the next one. In this case, it's a joker. That's a 2. In other words, I'm just looking right inside there.
He did that so fancy. You didn't raise it up that much, it seems.
Okay? Now, by the way, the moves I'm showing you are skilled moves, but I'll show you also unskilled moves that I have seen people using. Now, another type of peek. I just moved that to distract you, but I looked at the second card from the top. It's a 2 of hearts. Okay. What I did in this case is my thumb lifted in back and just lifted up these cards. And I can see the 5 of clubs. That's 3 cards down. Now, if I get the top card, okay, good enough. I know what that is. That's a second type of a peek, this way. That's a 4 of clubs on top of the deck. Okay, if we're playing poker, everybody calls their game. I will call stud poker, making it very easy for myself. All I have to know is the whole cards. I may not win, but I'm not going to lose a lot of money if I don't. Queen, 4, 4. Now, queen, 4, 4. So far, I don't see anything, but I haven't got that good a hand. Queen, that's a joker. Queen, 4, 4. Nobody's got anything yet. There's a 6 on top of the deck. I looked at it. I did the peek. Okay, deal him a 9. Deal him a jack. A 6. I got a pair of 6s, and I know nobody else has 6s so far. Nobody has a pair. I'll show you what I did to get that 6. Okay, here's another joker. We'll put that there. We'll give him a king. Okay, a jack. I know I got everybody beat. And I got a very low hand. Okay, let me show you how I retained that 6 for myself. Another grip. If you ever see anyone holding a deck of cards like this, get out of the game. It's not a normal grip. I use this to pivot a card and to pivot it back again. Now, I'll show you why I pivot it. So I can grab the second card and take it out and move that. So there's a 4. Okay. In this case, there's a queen of spades on top of the deck. I just simply reach for the second card and put down this one. Do the same thing here. Put that down and give myself the queen if I wanted it. Now, another one. With the same grip, I pivot this. This finger pulls back and moves the card over. So that when I reach for this, I take out the bottom card and deal it. Okay, that's one type of a bottom deal. Another one is where I don't bother with this finger. I just simply pull it out and take it out. Still another one is one-handed, where I pivot this. This finger pulls in and pushes out to loosen it from the bottom as my hand swings. With the hand in motion, you can't see anything. Okay, here's an ace of spades at the bottom. I want it. Give him a card, give him a card, give him a card. Now I come to myself and give myself the ace of spades. Okay? That's 3 types of bottom deals. Okay. Doing it slowly, I'll take a king of clubs and just do that. And I still have the king of clubs. So that you see how smooth you can do it. Now, I have seen people very clumsily doing this, spreading the cards real bad and getting away with it. And the reason they get away with it is when you play cards, you don't look at the dealer, you look at your hand. As it's coming in, so you can get away with murder. I'm doing skill, but I have seen very unskilled people getting away with it, just pulling back and pulling this out, and doing seconds that way. Okay, cuts. I have a four of spades at the bottom of the deck. Cut the deck. Now I want that four of spades. Cut the deck anywhere. Okay, over there. Let's see, the four of spades is back again to the bottom. Now, I'll show you what I did. I straightened the cards, but under cover of my hand, I bridged it. Now I cut the deck, hoping you cut into the bridge. It so happens you didn't cut into the bridge, and you cut someplace else. I lifted up, put my small finger in there. That's where the four of spades is. These fingers and that small finger have a vice grip on the top cards, and I exchange the halves and straighten that out. For those who didn't see it, I'm doing this. I'm cutting the deck in half. Now, I'll do it face up. Here's a queen of diamonds on top of the deck. There's an eight of spades in the center. Straighten the deck, and I have that. Straighten it, and I cut it again. Okay, that's a bridge. There are other types of cuts. If they let you cut your own deck, okay, they tap it, and I'm ready to deal. I didn't do a thing. I put the bottom on the bottom and put the top on top. As simple as that. We are so educated to accept this as a cut, which is a real cut now, that if I imitate the motion, it looks like I cut it. Because we're educated. The more educated you are, is what I have to work with. Okay, I can do fancy cuts where I've done absolutely nothing. I've taken the bottom, taken the center, put the bottom back, the center back, the top on top, and I've done absolutely nothing. I can do this three ways. I put the bottom on the bottom, the center in the center, the top on top, and it looks like I really cut it. Okay, I just showed you a four-way cut. Let's do a three-way cut. The bottom, the top, the bottom, the top, and I've done nothing. Or combination, bottom, bottom, and do that. And you've done nothing. Just fancy cuts. If I do this, you know I'm really cutting the deck, but you wouldn't let me play. Looks too fancy. If I did this, I'm really cutting the deck, but it's too fancy. Okay, that takes care of some cuts. Here's an overhand shuffle. I have a three of diamonds, five of clubs, nine of clubs, eight of hearts on top of the deck. Shuffle the deck, shuffle it, slop it up even. I still have the same four cards on top of the deck. Now, here's what I did here. This is the bottom. One card goes towards me. It's called an in-jog. I shuffle now, but my in-jog separates that whole bottom, which is on top. I push the in-jog in and have a break. That's the whole bottom. I got to get rid of it, so I reshuffle it and throw the top back on top. And I have my four cards still on top. If I wanted it in reverse and I want the bottom cards, okay, it so happens we have four hearts at the bottom, 4, 9, 5, king. Shuffle the top. Throw this on the side, push it in for an in-jog or a break, throw it back, that's the bottom, and shuffle the top. Shuffle the top again, throw this on the side, throw it back, and shuffle the top, and I still got the four hearts at the bottom. Retaining that, ready to give myself bottom deals. Now with 4 hearts at the bottom, 10 of clubs, 7 of clubs, 2 of spades. Okay, that's a diamond at the bottom, so I'd have to take a bottom. The moment I spot a heart, I'm going to try to retain it. I still didn't. Whoa. Did that clumsily. That's when you get up and you run. Okay. Let's see. Riffle shuffle. I'm going to take this deck and... Nuts. Okay. Shuffle this. I didn't do a thing. I took out the center. I held a break. I riffle shuffled to the break. Now all these cards belong in here. I push the top card forward and twist the top packet. Pull it towards me, and when I do this, it strips apart. I just lift up and push this right back again where it belongs. So I'm doing a riffle shuffle in which I'm doing nothing. If I want a combination, I take the bottom, take the top, hold the break, riffle shuffle to that, twist, put the top back here, put the bottom back, and I've done cuts and shuffles at the same time and have the deck all back in the same order, the entire deck. Although it's very rare that you would ever have to keep a whole deck intact. Okay, that's a good riffle shuffle. Now, I showed you the bridge deck. I'll explain about short cards, long cards, corner cards, stripper deck. Three types of decks that you can cheat with. A mark deck, which is, in this case, I would pick out the little clock over here. It's a daisy. You have marking inks. Blue ink, you have red ink for a red deck, you have white ink for either one of the decks. And I could mark that as a clock with an ace, just thinning it or thickening it according to how I want to do it. Next to it a king, next to it a queen, jack, or I could mark it for highs and lows, or I could mark it for high, medium, low, according to the type of games you're playing. Different decks you mark different ways, you just look to see what the design is. If you want to try to detect a marked deck, riffle the deck like this and see if you can see a change of design. If you see one card that looks different, look at what it is and take out all 4 of the kind and see if they're the only ones that have that specific mark. Then you go ahead and look for another one, and after a while you can break the pattern on how they mark the deck. And if it has a definite pattern, you know you're going to mark deck. Another type of deck, you know the ones that have the diamonds all over the back? You can sort these cards. You buy a number of decks. You pull out all the aces that have a full diamond on the top. You pull out all the kings that have a 3/4 diamond. All the queens that have a 1/2 diamond. All the jacks that have a 1/4 of a diamond on top. Those are called sorts, where you're sorting the deck and making up a deck. Or you can mark it high, medium, low, however you want to do it, according to what you're playing again. When you gimmick a deck, you find where you can tear this side of the box open. You slip out the deck so you're not breaking the stamp, and you mark the whole deck or sort them. You slip them back in again and paste that up, and everything is nice and easy. Now, the way to sneak it into a game is you buy a dozen decks in the candy store. You get a dozen marked decks, you bring it back to the candy store and say, my poker game canceled, can I trade this for other merchandise? When the fellas come over or the gals come over to play, you say, do me a favor, run down and buy a couple of decks in the candy store. Beautiful. It's not your decks, they bought it. Okay. Another type of deck is a stripper deck with a cutting machine. I go ahead and nail a piece of wood so that when I put the card there, it'll cut it on a slight taper. So this side is narrower and this side is wider. And the whole deck is that way. It's very, very slight. But when you turn a card end for end, that white end will stick out on the narrow end. And you can strip it out and put it on top of the deck. Or you can press down and cut to the card above. Or you can pick up that long card and cut it. Let's say you take all the high cards and put them on that side. You're cutting for a high card, they usually cut in the center, you cut at the end, and you're cutting a high card in every instance. So that's another way. Now they have another type of deck that I very rarely see. It's a belly stripper. They cost about $40, $50. The deck, all the low cards are concave. They're cut very slightly rounded. And all the high cards are convex. They're cut in. So that, no, the high cards are the bellies. It's called belly strippers. So that when you're cutting the deck, now the high cards would be wide on the ends. They cut in the center, and they cut a low card, you cut on the end, and you cut a high card. The belly strippers are what the expert gamblers get to use for gambling. Or really not gambling, they're not gambling in the least. I can take a card and press it until it's slightly longer than the rest of the deck. Or I can take a card and cut the whole edge off and have it slightly smaller. Now I can feel a short card very fast by just riffling and cutting the deck. And peculiarly, even though magicians have read about it, they haven't used it. I can fool the hell out of them by doing a whole bunch of different tricks with a short card. I can polish up a card so it's very slick. When they cut a deck, by my pressing, it splits at that slippery card. And my small finger goes in, and I recut the deck. So that would be another way. Other types of marks. Lipstick. Marking high, medium, low. Shoe polish. Just a slight smudge. Nail nicks in a card. Bent corners. I see it happening in some of the games. A Band-Aid around the finger with a tack in the Band-Aid. You're puncturing cards. You can mark decks in all kinds of ways while you're playing. You're holding the cards, you mark the high cards, you throw them back, they shuffle the deck, you get some more high cards. After a while, you pretty well know what the other people are holding. So that would be another one. Okay, you can buy professionally daub to mark decks or marking inks to mark decks from gambling places. Let's see, I pretty well covered that. Now, tell me the truth, raise your hands on this. After a game, how many people have ever found cards underneath the table that accidentally fell there? Raise your hands. You have? You have? Somebody's cheating.
Those two are married to each other.
Oh.
What's he say, they play together?
They're married to each other because you're cheating each other.
Let me tell you the advantage of cards on the floor. If we're playing either poker or gin rummy, and I know the cards that are missing from the deck, I've got a good head start. So that, let's say, I have a couple of cards, Queen of Five of Clubs and a King of Hearts are under the table. Those are the cards I'm not going to play for in the game. And my odds are slightly in my favor, and they're playing for them, and they'll never get them. Okay, now that's what an amateur does, but it's done often. If I wanted to cheat and make sure they don't catch me, I would go to the bathroom and tear these cards up and flush them down the toilet. Yeah. In other words, watch I'm palming. This hand's empty, this hand's empty, I give him the deck, and I leave. Okay, this hand's empty, this hand's empty, I put the deck forward, holding that.
How did they do in Las Vegas at the house over there?
Oh, wait, let me explain something.
house
I'm
deal.
glad you asked the question. What I am showing you, they do not cheat in your gambling places.
No, they don't.
They
The house
cannot
deal.
afford to lose their license. It's millions of dollars.
How come they losing, then they change dealer?
That's okay. They're playing by luck.
Oh, they're
and
playing
that's
by
it.
luck?
Yeah.
In the casinos, the poker
Yeah.
games, the house
Let me
deals,
explain
all the
about.
cards.
Let me explain
They
about
don't
a
play.
dealer.
They just deal.
They deal, but they could,
Yeah,
Could
let
be
me
working
explain.
with somebody. Yeah.
that's what I mean.
Let me explain about dealers. They teach the dealers how to deal cards, how to keep it from being seen, and they try to
Can't
teach
they
them.
do like with one of the players?
Let me explain. They teach them what to watch out for on cheating. Now, one of the dealers may be a little careless, and the outside public is citing this and winning. So they change dealers for a person who knows a lot more. Now, they do not cheat. They cannot afford to lose their license. And they will make more money without cheating than cheating. What I am showing you is house games. By house games, I mean cards here, cards on the boat, cards on the
Where they
train,
play
cards in the back of the police station.
You're right.
Yeah, because you only need one person to cheat. I met a woman up at the Homowac a number of years ago when I was social director. I did an expose. She comes over to me on the side and says, for the last 40 or so years, she's been winning $30,000 a year playing poker in the hotels, paying for her vacation and her clothes. And her husband has a good job. He's a lawyer.
She's a cheater, though.
She has tax-deductible money.
Isn't that something, a vacation, a blessing?
I met another guy. Showed me something on dice that is so beautiful. He takes toy dice, little ones, and loads them so they favor certain numbers. And they're toys. He comes into a hotel and starts tossing them around.
Yeah,
Somebody else joins him, they're tossing it. Someone else joins, he walks out and lets them play with the dice. He disappears, but watches. After a while, he sees a number of men go to a room, and they're playing dice.
And then he joins.
About an hour or two later, he comes in, oh, can I get into that
Yes,
game?
He already know.
Another one that at Paradise Stream, here in the Poconos, a fella showed me how he holds the money. Here's the dice hidden under the money. I'm using green dice here. He fakes throwing it in this hand and throws out the other dice and tosses these two into his hand, ready to switch back again, switching dice into the game. Also, he still wears cuffs on his pants because they're down on the knees and he gets the dice into the cuffs so that he's clean. One of my friends, Harry Reif, has called himself Jack London, as an entertainer, who grew up with me in the park departments, knows gambling and everything else. specialized in exposing frauds. He was teaching the FBI. He got into a crap game in an alley, picks up the dice, and wants to see if they're loaded. Now, if you hold them diagonally, the heavy side will go down, or if you drop them in a glass of water, it'll sink with the heavy side down. So he's holding the dice like this, and two big husky guys start crushing him. They said, anything wrong? He shook his head, no, he can't talk. He played, he gets up, starts leaving, the two guys followed him, and he's scared. They said, you know, you almost got yourself killed. He nods his head, yes. They said, how much did you lose? He says, $15. They peeled off $15, said, don't show your face here. Now he says to me very bravely, I should have said $25. Another story that I heard, when Vegas first was opening, 1948, I entertained there at one of the clubs. There were only 5 houses. And here's where I heard that story. I heard several stories of how they swindled the house. But this one is interesting. The guy was using a spit switch. He throws a die in his mouth and spits out the other one. If you get caught, you swallow. It hurts, but you swallow. Anyway, the story I heard is this guy one night walks in drunk, spits, and instead of 2 dice, throws out 3 5s. The stick man very calmly pulled in 1 die and says, 15 is your point. Anyway, you can understand the guy lost, walked out, disappeared. Another one that I heard that they pulled on the Sands Hotel is at the end of the evening when they were cashing in their chips, the house ended up with $100,000 more chips than it's supposed to have. There was a truck outside manufacturing chips. Now what they do is they have the coloring matter in the chips, just like the horse racing tickets, and a guy will every now and then pick up a chip, break it open, and replace it with another chip to keep the house honest. So they have a check on that. The counters, they now use 6 decks. They had a law passed that they can use 6 decks to counteract the guys that can memorize the cards.
Blackjack.
In blackjack. Okay. I'll show you a couple of other moves. This one I made up. I have a 4 of spades at the bottom of the deck. I reach for my cigarette. The 4 of spades is now on top of the deck. Or I have it on top of the deck, I put it at the bottom with my elbow. I made this move up. I push the card over, and with my elbow, put it on top, or put it on the bottom, or I push a card out from the center and put it either place. Or I can take half the deck and switch it with my elbow. So I'm cutting the deck with my elbow as I reach for something.
Would you tell us yesterday you put 10 cards in the woman in here?
Oh, I'm not exposing magic.
Oh, you would tell us that.
That's a different thing.
Oh, that's your a living, right?
Yeah.
Well, the men that have the 3 cards, which is the one in the middle.
Okay. Now, let me show you a couple of others. Some people use reflectors. They may have a ring on their finger. They turn it around, it's a mirror. So that as they deal the cards, they see what's coming up. Some women use compacts and look into it as they're dealing. Some men use cigarette cases and as a reflector. Here's another one. This is for a pipe. You put your pipe on a table and look in the pipe and you see what's happening with the cards. If you have a shiny table, it's a lot easier. You just and some people play with shiny tables. So if you use reflectors, okay, mark cards, there's about 85 different mark cards. Let me show you the palms. This hand's empty, this hand's empty. I've just palmed off a bunch of cards. Okay. I practiced this. I pull back with my ring finger. The cards are held with my ring finger and the flesh of my palm. I tilt. This small finger takes over and lines it up in my hand. And I have it already squared. So this hand's empty. As I'm doing this, I already got it. But I don't do it standing still. I do it moving the deck and the other hand. And I got that. That's one palm. Another type of palm, I push the card slightly forward so it teeters up into my hand. And I have it. Another palm, I'll take the ace of spades, put it in the center of the deck, and push it in. I'll show you, it's taken a lot of practice. I push it in, pivoting it sideways, my small finger and thumb of the other hand, line it up and put it in my hand to carry away. I'll push a card out sideways. These fingers hold it so this hand doesn't look peculiar. Then I'll curve it because I'm holding something. And I have another palm. There's hundreds of palms, by the way. I'm just showing you a few. Okay, let's see. Palms, partners. In the Army, they challenged me. They said, I'll have you a bet you can't cheat if we place the cards in a crack in the table, you don't touch the cards, you point to what you want discarded, and you play that way, and at no time do I ever handle the deck. So I figured this system out. You are my secret partner. I've walked in to play, a little lady, you walk in and say, can I play? And nobody knows we're partners. And you sit opposite me. Now, there are 9 hands in a poker game, counting nothing as one hand. We agree and we memorize by number all the different hands. 1 means one thing, 2 means another, 3 another, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If I look up over here, that's nothing. If I look here, above your head, that's a pair. If I look over here, that's 3 of a kind.
Sign language with
This,
your eyes.
yeah, I look at the side of your head, that's 2 pair. Look at your face, that's a full house, etc. We make up any code. Now, I look at my hand, I look at over here. Okay, you know what hand I'm holding. Now, you look at me, and I know what hand you're holding. Okay, let's say you have the higher hand. He bets, you pass, he passes, I raise.
But you know she's got the...
I know she's got the better hand. Okay, he meets my raise, she raises him. And you keep on. Now, if we chase everyone out, beautiful, we don't have to worry about a thing. If we don't chase them out, along the way, I drop out. And that's all. And she who kept quiet wins the pot.
See?
And that's all with partners you can clean up. So that's another nice, simple way. In the Army, I would never play. The guys would challenge me. One particular time, I did 4 ace tricks, a whole routine, 1 4-ace trick after another. Now they challenge me to play, and I don't want to play, and they say, you're a coward, and I says, okay, I'll lose $5, and I'm going to play honest. The very first hand the dealer deals me is 4 aces, by accident. And I look, what the hell do you do? Finally, the dealer tosses his cards in, says, I got to see what's got the magician stumped. He looks at my hand and says, if I were you, I'd lay them down face up and get out of the game. And I said, that's a good idea, and I walked. Another time, I sat down to play with 2 of my buddies in the game that I always palled with, and a whole bunch of other guys. We were the only 3 winners. And I told my buddies, give the money back, nobody's going to believe us. What do you mean give the money back? We played honestly. I says, you made one mistake. You're my friend. And that's all. If you don't want to get killed, give back the money. Okay. Okay. Different games that we will play. Let me get rid of jokers again. The other joker is somewhere here. Okay. If we're playing bridge, I only need 5 honors at the bottom of the deck to deal myself bottoms, and I got a good head start. If we're playing gin rummy, I'll show you what I can do. We got 3 aces there, king, 4, whatever comes out, king. I have 2 6s together, so I'll go for those. Okay, king is, oh, I haven't got 4s anymore. King, 6, 6, 6, king. 6 and king. King, 4 kings, and 3 6s. Let's say I just got gin rummy. Now, definitely, in gin, always make sure that the loser deals, not the winner. If I win, I can set the deck up again and again and again. I lay down my cards so the 4 of a kind is together, then the 3 and 3, and I have to know, I have to remember this. King, 6s, aces, and I always lay down my cards with clubs and then spades on as the first 2 cards. Now this, it doesn't matter whether this goes to the top or the bottom of the deck. The first couple of shuffles, I don't disturb them. I keep them untacked. Okay, now I give them the deck to cut, and they cut that somewhere in the deck. I don't know where it is. And I'm playing gin rummy. Oh boy, I got an ace. No jack, 10, king of spades, means he has the king of clubs, I got the king of diamonds, he's got the king of hearts. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got a 6, I've got a 6. He's got another 6, I got an ace. He's got an ace, I got another ace. But I know some of his cards, so that I'm not going to play into his hand. By accident, I got an ace at the first card, so I will get 4 of a kind with the aces, but I've already got 3. He might play into my kings. He may not play into my 6, but I'm not going to give him the 6. So you follow how I've got a head start. Now, if they cut the deck where they divided that particular bundle, so half is on bottom, half on top, I know what cards are at the bottom. So I'm not going to give him my few. He's going to play into me, and I know what else not to play for. If they cut it so that neither one of us got it, as we're picking up cards and discarding, the moment I see any one of those cards, I know what's coming up in sequence right down. So there's the gin rummy game. Let's take some other ones. Pinochle. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make believe these 8 cards are the 4 aces and a royal flush, or in Pinochle, all the queens and kings for a roundhouse. I'm putting these purposely face up on the deck, but make out they're the cards that I just said. And I want those cards. Now let's see, 52, 51, 50, 49, 48 cards in a Pinochle deck. Okay, I can shuffle this, retaining the bottom stock, shuffle the top, throw it on the side, throw it back, and I still have the bottom stock. Then I can bridge the cards, they cut, and I will recut those particular cards to the bottom. All the cards are still at the bottom. Now we're playing Pinochle, 4 cards, 4 cards, 4 cards, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, and I got all 8 cards. Now, did anybody see what I did? Anybody suspect? I'll show you. I dealt him four, but I dealt myself two.
Oh, so then you get all the cards.
I deal him four,
Oh, he gave himself two
Four.
at a time.
and
Two.
deal myself two.
That's how you get the 8 cards.
Now for the third time around, I have to take all the bottom cards, and I have 8 cards together, ready to play. So it takes care of Pinochle. By the way, I made that one up. I sold it to a gambler and got $500 for that. It was a good investment.
For him.
Okay.
How long?
What?
For how long?
I wouldn't know. I don't question. The guy's gonna cheat anyway. Canasta. Here's a funny one. Around the late 40s, early 50s, families were visiting families and playing canasta together. And my wife at that time says to me, this is one game you can't cheat at. And that's a challenge. Okay, what I did was, when we counted points, I put the wild cards at the bottom. Now, we've counted points, I palmed out the wild cards and took them and put them in my pocket, reaching for a cigarette. When they dealt me a hand and I picked up the bundle, that's when I'd reach for another cigarette and put the wild cards back again. And meld. But always, you are counting your own points. So I put the wild cards at the bottom. It took me a couple of games to get all the wild cards. Now, game after game, for 8 games in a row, I meld all the wild cards. Until my wife comes up and says, you're cheating. Okay, I since made up several other ways to cheat at canasta. I can press my finger at the card and supposedly pick up one card, but I pick up several. Another one. I'm holding several cards. I don't want you to get the king of spades, so I lay down the 10 of diamonds, but the king of spades is in back of it. Now, I could do this. It would take me no time at all to eliminate my cards and get them down to nothing. So I'm ready to go out. Now, my wife came home in the neighborhood. We lived at White Meadow Lake, Rockaway, New Jersey, and says, one of our best friends is cheating at canasta. I says, what's she doing? She says, when you count your score, she gives herself a couple of extra points. As simple as that. I says, what are you going to do about it? She says, nothing, I'm beating her. So, okay, let's see. Okay, here is this. I'm going to put down a couple of hands on the table and show you how I can stack a deck. Now, these are the different players who have laid out their hand. And let's see if I got 3 of a kind. 9s, queens, no 2, 8s, 2 8s. Let's put out another hand. Have I got, oh, I have a 10 here, a 10 here, and a 10 here. Let me put this 10 somewhere in between. Oh, I got 3 10s. It didn't matter. I'll take this 10 out and leave it out. Okay, mentally I count. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 10. I pick up the cards so that nothing looks arranged. But 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a 10. Okay? Now, watch this. Mathematical. I shuffle the top with an in jar. I reshuffle the top, and here is the 4, 5, and 5 arrangement. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a 10. The 3 10s separated with a break. 2 10s together. this 10 on top, these two 10s on top of that 10.
Now they're all
All three
together.
10s on top of the deck. Blind shuffling. Okay? So that you can pull cards out and place them wherever you want. Now that's a professional way. I'll show you what I've seen amateurs do. There's a bunch of cards on the table. Okay, let's see, I see 2 9s. So he goes ahead and puts the 9s together, starts picking these cards up. He may as well go for the 2 3s, put them there. And I've got 2 pair at the bottom of the deck. And they've placed them that way. And nobody notices because they're shuffling the other deck ready to play. So that's as amateurish as you can be. Okay. Name any game you want to see cheating at. I'll destroy it for you.
Poker.
Whist is
What do you
like
think that is?
bridge. Yeah, I don't know whist. I know bridge. I know how to play at it. But I would take high cards, put them at the bottom, and deal myself high honors. Okay? Yeah. What else?
How about just plain rummy, 7 card?
7-card rummy would be like gin rummy.
Same as Jay. Only they're less cards.
Yeah. Poker, I just showed you how I can take out the cards, or with stud poker,
How
know
about
the whole
blackjack?
cards. Blackjack, the same thing.
If you're playing with 6 decks, though, it's not so easy.
6 decks, you're using a shoe, but you're playing in a house. You're not playing in the house at home. I'm showing you home games. Okay. Okay. That's enough about cards. Let me show you some things about dice. Loading dice, you can drill out, here's a 5, 6, and 4 together. By the way, for those who don't know dice, opposite sides of a dice add a 7. In other words, here's a 3, here's a 4. Here's a 5, here's a 2, here's a 6, here's a 1. The 4, 5, and 6 come together. Yeah, the 4, 5, and 6. By the way, when you throw out dice, I can turn my back and say, add the top, now add the bottom to it. It's 14. 7 and 7 is 14. If you're throwing out 3 dice, and I say add the tops and bottoms together, it's 21. Because opposite sides add to 7. I could do a couple of tricks with them in which, these are tricks I made up, by the way. I'll show you this. I'm not going to expose this, by the way. I have a 4 and a 5 here, and a 3 and a 2 here. You see the spot in the center of the 3? It's now on this side. Now it's back again. There's a spot in the center of the 5. We'll shoot it over to there. We'll shoot it back on this side. We have a 4, 5 here, a 4, 5 here, a 3, 2 here, and a 3, 2 here. Again, 4, 5, 4, 5, 3, 2, 3, 2. Here, this one I like that I made up. In back of this 4, there's a 5. In back of the 1, there's a 5. In back of the 3, there's a 5. In back of the 6, there's a 5. In back of the 2, there's a 5. There are 5 5s and 5 other numbers. It's a 10-sided cube. Here, another one. Watch. Name a number you see on the side only. 2. No, that's on bottom. Name a number you see on the side. No, that's on bottom. Name a number you see on the side.
6.
A 6? No, that's on bottom. Okay, switching dice. Oh, first of all, with the 4, 5, 6, if you drill a hole there and put either lead, you want it heavier, gold, silver, platinum, and you repaint it, you got a loaded die. It's going to favor falling on the high number, so a low number's got to come up. If they roll the dice and they roll a high number, which it doesn't favor, you bet against it. If it rolls a low number, you bet with it. All dice should be percentage dice. They should not be like this, which I purposely had made up. I rounded the corners so they roll like a ball, and I loaded them so heavy that I'll show you. I have a 5 and a 6 on top. I'll show you how heavy it's loaded. It's going to come up a 1 and a 2. There's the 2. There's the 1.
Oh, my Lord. He's laughing at him.
1 and 2. It can't roll anything else. Just to show you an extreme. You cannot play dice with this. They're loaded. By the way, I'll show you another pair of dice. People have asked me, where do you get crooked dice? So, I've taken dice, boiled it so it's soft, put it in the vise, and crushed it. So I now have crooked dice.
Oh, dear Lord.
Okay. Okay. I told you about loads. You can shave a deck on a milling machine or with a file if you're that good, polish it up so that these sides now are thinner. And it's going to favor either one of these. If it favors one of these, which is the thinner side, you know the odds are against it rolling those. You can taper a die very slightly so it favors certain numbers. They sell dice which they call tops. A 6 on this side, a 6 on this side, a 5 here and a 5 here and a 4 and a 4. The eye can only see 3 numbers at one time. Those are called tops or tops and bottoms. Now, to tell you how easy it is to get away with dice that you think is so obvious, I went to a magician friend's home. I asked him for a couple of dice so that I could show him the tricks I've just shown you. He gives me tops. I said, you gave me tops. He says, what do you mean tops? And I show him. He says, oh my God. He says, we played with that across the ocean in the Navy. Somebody put those dice in. He happened to pick it up and take it home. Now, I am no more guilty or innocent than he. In the Army, when the guys played cards on the blankets, I used to pick up a deck because they shined it up so beautifully that I could do this with it. And for a while I was doing this in my act. The dice were so slick that when I reached in the air, I could make a perfect fan. They would fan beautifully. Now, for this purpose is what I was using it for. Okay, I come home and pick up some of the decks that I have sent home and find one deck that was unusual. I had never seen a deck like this before. The diagonal corners were irregular. And I keep studying it and finally figured it out. I turned the cards end for end until I found that this was perfectly square. All the corners on one side were chopped off, slightly. In other words, the guy had made a stripper deck on the corners. He could press that corner and the card comes out projecting here, or he could use it as a short card by snapping it. And I had never seen a deck like that before, and I don't know where I picked it up. But, by the way, one of my coins that I got was, the edge was on an angle. And I realized if you spin it, it favored falling on one side. I showed it to another magician friend of mine. He says, oh, let me show you my collection. Half of a coin was one way, and the other half was the other way. So he could make it fall heads or tails. Another little way of cheating. Okay, in sand, I would take this dice and hold a 5 uppermost. When I throw it in the sand, in other words, you're rattling only one die. You throw it, the top die buries the bottom one into the sand, so you got a 5, and the other one rolls out. In this case, I happen to roll a winner. But it can't roll anything else but a winner or a number. I can't crap out the first roll. On the blanket, if you put your sixes and your aces on the side and roll it, you got to roll a number or a winner. You can't crap out. That's the blanket roll. Other ways of gimmicking dice, a little thimble in my pocket with a sponge with alcohol. I stick my hand in the alcohol, pick up the dice, and rub the face, and I roughen the surface. And it's going to tend to flip over and not land on that. Again, percentage dice, making crooked dice while you're playing the game. Okay, there's quite a number of different types of trick dice. First of all, let me return this deck to who owns it.
Better count them.
Yeah, you better. Oh, she wants the jokers too.
Can we play an honest game with these anymore?
I wouldn't.
Who's your deck?
George,
You ever
could
play?
you explain?
How would you trust
It's not really a game. Yes, we never played with them.
Three-card one.
Oh, three-card Monte.
Yeah.
Oh, don't be a sucker for that. Three-card Monte. By the way, the three-shell game also. On the three-shell game, I can move the peas, and I have the pea in my fingers. You point to the shell, it's naturally not there. When I pick up the other one, I slide the pea right under the shell. And I can manipulate that pea to any position I want in my hand, showing both sides of my hands empty as I'm talking. And put that pea right back again. Three-card Monte. They usually have a couple of fighters as shills, retired guys. And if you cause trouble, they'll push you out of the game. If you bet on the right card, one of the shills will bet on the wrong card twice as much money. They say, sorry, high money bets, and you're inched out of the game. Now, doing some skill. Ace of clubs, okay? Which one?
That one.
The middle one?
Okay,
First one.
psychologically, I try to fool you.
Right.
Okay, we'll try this again.
The first one.
Outside. That's it.
That one. Okay, enough people are guessing here that someone's going to get it right. Now, one of the shills loses and slaps the card down and it falls to the floor. The Monte man goes to pick it up. While he's picking it up, the shill bends a corner on the ace of clubs, and everybody's cheating. Okay, here's a bent corner. I make believe I don't see it. Watch. Which one?
First one.
This one, that's the bent corner. This is the ace of clubs. I'll bend it again. I'll bend it again. I pick this card up and I'm bending the corner. I throw out the bent corner here, switch, and straighten this bent corner. And go ahead and do
By that
that.
time you ruin all the cards.
Okay, now, another one. Okay. I pick up the card, show you the ace of clubs, and tear off a corner. Wait, it's not the ace of clubs. So, I'm cheating another way. You're following the bent corner. I can paste the postage stamp on the card, do this, and the postage stamp is on another card. A paper clip. You can cheat so many ways. And with a cloth on the table, I can slide it out and slide in another card, and you lose. They do not give $1 away in three-card Monte. They only collect, and they collect several $1,000s a day. And it is strictly a swindle. So don't get caught in it. And don't think that you can place your hand on two cards and say, that's the winning card. They're going to take care of you. So, I'll give you an idea. I'm going to mention something very gruesome to show you how these fellas can work. Up in Syracuse, there was a game going on 8 different tables. A truck would pull up, a bunch of guys would pile out and sit at the tables, and they did something that was so obvious. They took all the high cards and whacked the corners. They were broken corners. And they played cutting high card. One of my friends, a magician, spotted it and went around to whisper to the other magicians. One of the guys, the gamblers, picked up a board, hit him across the face, and his eye popped out of his head. They play rough. They'll kill you. So you don't get involved. If you think something is wrong, get out.
Get out.
Get out. Don't even bother.
That's right.
They have no mercy. They're out for thousands of dollars and they're back by the syndicate. I'll give you another one.
Sure, they hustle you too. They
Yeah, I'll
give
give you
a chance
another
to-
one. In the Army, I heard that Sergeant Paris always won in a crap game. One day I'm marching by in formation. I yelled out, "Sergeant Paris, can I see you after hours for a session?" He says, "I'd love to." I came to his room. He closed the door, offered me a box of chocolates, took one. He says, "Pick up the top layer." I pick it up, and underneath are all kinds of dice. Sergeant Paris never loses a game. He was backed by the syndicate from outside. Now, let me show you what he was winning. Each one of us as soldiers, as a majority, earned about $50 a month. 200 guys to a barracks, that's $10,000. Every payday, he would clean out 3, 4, and 5 barracks. $30,000 to $50,000 every payday. I'm leaving the field with a buddy of mine. My buddy says, "Oh, a crap game." I says, "Come on with me. We'll enjoy ourselves in town." He says, "No, I love a crap game." And I can't rat on him because Sergeant Paris told me what he's doing. And no matter how I try, the guy wants to get into the game. I finally took a chance and said to him, "Look, I have powers."
Oh, you put it that way. Yeah.
I say, I have a premonition that tonight, no matter how you play the game, bet the way Sergeant Paris bets. And I left the field hoping. I come back and my friend says, "Wow, did you call it?" And he never caught on. I couldn't rat on the guy.
No, of course not.
So, in other words, I value my life. If they're backed by the syndicate, I'm in danger.
Right up on the head.
By the way, I'll give you another story. George Cranog was a friend of ours. He disappeared World War II somewhere over Africa in a plane. We never heard of him again. He owned a magic store on 8th Avenue and 14th Street in New York City. And we used to meet once a week to play cards in his place. The rules were you're allowed to cheat.
Oh.
But if you're caught, you double the pot. If you Now that's
But
good
everybody's
practice.
on the lookout, though. Everybody's on the lookout.
Now, there was a guy there by the name of Ben who wore a derby and a big black cigar and a rough-looking guy, but an excellent magician. Sits in the game, he's losing all night long, and finally throws down the cards disgusted and leaves. About 2 hours later, he comes back again, gets in the game, and he's playing for a while. Finally, one of his friends gets up and says, "Ben, I'll see you," and hits him in the derby hat and dents it. Ben gets mad, gets up, straightens the hat, puts it on his head, sits down, and plays. He dealt everyone a full house and himself a royal flush. Tell you what he did. He was in cahoots with the guy. When he straightened the derby out. He put the original deck in the derby and pulled out another deck from the band in the hat. A set-up deck. And switched. What?
Without the players recognizing.
They're all sitting and didn't see the top of his
Oh,
hat.
that seems a little,
What? He got away with it.
I don't believe it. It seems too obvious.
Anyway,
It's a little too obvious.
okay, let me give you, let's see, blackjack, one card beat, colored dice, Scrabble, mahjong. Okay, in mahjong, at the home of whack, my wife saw 4 different types of ways of cheating. I don't know mahjong, so she'd keep her eyes open. One that you girls are acquainted with is where the person is bouncing their tile, drop it, and they pick up the other one and keep bouncing it, and they switch tiles. So if anyone is bouncing a tile, it's really illegal in the game. Another one is when they're mixing up all the tiles. I'll keep track of the green one. They're doing this, but they still got the green, this one. And when they're stacking, they're helping stack it, and they know where it is. The third one, which was a new one to us, my wife saw one woman sitting there with 2 jokers on her lap. She actually sent away to the company and ordered 2 jokers to sneak into the game. Now you could order some other tiles and sneak them into the game. Now, can you imagine if she was skilled, how much she could do? So that's mahjong. Scrabble, I figured out the other day, but I haven't used it. I told my wife what I'm doing because she and I play Scrabble, but I said, you know, it's so easy to cheat. She says, how? Okay, we got the little bag, and I've got a number of tiles. I've just placed this, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I don't like these particular 2. So I take them, I reach into the bag, leave it behind, and take out enough to replace it, and I'm switching tiles in the bag, as obvious as possible. Then another one is, how many times have you done this? You're playing Scrabble and accidentally you got 8 tiles? You can do that. Or you can hold 1 extra tile on your lap, and if you need it, you just switch tiles. So, very simple, direct, easy methods of cheating at Scrabble. Let me finish off this whole thing by just showing you, I don't expose this because I'm doing magic. I'm going to give a session, one of my entertainment, on different card things that I can do, but I'll give you an idea of how well. Now, I said this I'm not exposing. Okay. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Look at this card, don't let me see it. Now, I'm not going to look, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Over there, take this card, look at it. Add them both together. Okay?
Right.
Replace the 2 of clubs first. Okay. Replace the 8 of clubs. Now wait, watch. Watch. I'm not looking. 2 and 8 is 10. We'll take the 10 of clubs and watch this 10. It's split into 2 cards. 8 and 2.
How did you do that?
Hey, Lenny, you want to get in
Okay,
the game?
here's another. Take any card you want. Now, don't let me see it. Show it to everybody. Okay, everyone see it? Okay, replace that in the deck. Now, this is not your card, the 2 of clubs. I want you to take this 2, insert it in the deck, but hold on to it so I can split the deck over there, and we'll try to find your card. Just put it in the deck anywhere. Hold on to the 2 of clubs. 9 of hearts, that's not your card, is it? We'll try it again. Place the 2 of clubs in the deck. Hold on to it. The king of spades is not your card. Name your card.
You want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Jack of diamonds.
Jack of diamonds. Turn it face up.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Varsity Marvelous.
I'll show you one.
What a show that was, huh?
At the end of the month in the Army, we were broke. I'll show you. Now, your entertainment wasn't much. One of your entertainments was to go to a bar and have some drinks. I've never been a big drinker, but you wanted a couple of drinks. I'll show you what I did to get drinks. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Look at this card, don't let me see it, and replace that. Okay, now, I go ahead and show you this card. In this case, it's the 3 of diamonds. And I say, that's your card. Now, you're willing to bet me.
That's not the car.
And they'd say, I'll bet you. I say, I don't want to take your money, but I'll bet you a drink. And I bet the whole bar.
Oh, my God.
What was your card?
8 of diamonds.
The 8 of diamonds.
Oh. And you know, the other was a 3, the 2 numbers. The 3 and the 8.
Okay, by the way, I have a square table of drinks, which was impossible to drink. And I simply yell out, all the GIs here, the drinks are on me. I walked into one bar and had so many drinks on table after table because it was New Year's Eve and all the civilians said, for every trick you do, we'll buy you a drink. The bartender shook hands with me, left a $100 bill in my hand, and says, I never did business like this in my life. And when I left, the tables were full of drinks.
Oh, my.
3, 4, 5. Well, one card Pete looked at his hand. The glad sight met his gaze. That's a goodly hand, a noble hand, a handful worth the raise. He looked again and with chagrin, thought he, I'm in a fix. The dealer dealt too many cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You'd call him a steal in a case like this, but not this gambling chap. He just took out the poorest card and hid that in his lap. He checked his playing cards again. He still was in a mix. Again he found instead of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Oh, no.
How this could be perplexed poor Pete. He did not think it right. That's why he stole another card and hid that out of sight. He checked his playing cards once more lest they become prolix. Just let me speed the sorry tale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He stole another playing card, and this is how he did it. He just took out the poorest card, and in his sleeve he hid it. And now thought he, that pesky card will trouble me no more. But then he found instead of 5, just 1, 2, 3, and 4. A remedy had to be found. The one he used seemed grand. He took the card from out his sleeve, returned it to his hand. Alas, the plans of mice and men sometimes don't even soar. Again he found instead of 5, just 1, 2, 3, and 4. He stole another playing card to give him 1 card more. Again he found instead of 5, just 1, 2, 3, and 4. He stole the last remaining card. Oh, sorry, was his fix. Because he found not 4, not 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He left that fateful game forthwith, no more scenery-no. He settled down to honest toil and played not even screen-o. The sad part of the sorry tale, as sure as you're alive, in spite of all perplexing counts, 1, 2, 3, 4, and
Where's the other card?
Okay.
One question.
Yeah.
They ever buy you from any casinos?
They will take my money as fast as they'll take the next guys. Remember, I'm not handling the cards there. They are.
That's right.
And also, remember something else. I'm a coward.
Mary, see how he takes it off? I wish you could put something back for me, George. You put me right back in shape. It ain't there. together.
That is them.
Oh, you make a fee.
I don't
Here.
Hey, puts it in his pocket. Go in his pocket. Tree in his pocket. Oh, hey.
Where did you learn these things?
Ah, he must have went to
Okay.
school. No more.
No more. Hold your own, Sam.
I wanted to put it back in.
I'm not doing a formal magic show. I am doing one or two tricks I have shown in my magic gag, but I'm doing mostly card tricks. First of all, who didn't see the pea trick? I went from table to table. Don't give it away if you saw it.
No, if I saw it.
Who didn't see it? Okay. You want to come up here?
Go ahead, baby.
What?
The missing.
I have a little cylinder with two peas in it. I have a small pea and a large pea. You see it? Put your hand out. Put it over here. Which do you want, the big pea or the small pea? You'll take a little pea. Do not give this away. Everybody's going to see how I do this, except him. Watch the napkin. Which hand? No, we'll try it again. Which hand? No, this hand. We'll try it once more. Which hand? No, this one. Here. Okay, once more. Now watch it closely.
It's over here.
I want you.
Quiet.
Yeah, I want you to think. Are you thinking? Yeah, we'll try it again. Okay. Watch. We'll put the napkin right in the hand. Which hand? This one here. We'll try it once more. We'll take two napkins. Open your hand. The clean one. I'll take this. I'm going to make this vanish from your hand. Do exactly as I do. Mine is gone. No, you got both of them. In fact, we'll try three of them. 1, 2, 3 napkins. How many have we got? 2, you're not watching. 1, 2 napkins. How many? 1. No, here. Take this napkin. Tear it in half. Tear both pieces in half. Now, how many pieces would you say you have here?
Just one big one.
One big one. He outsmarted me. One big one. We'll try a bunch of napkins. We'll make a big ball. Maybe you can see what happens. 1, 2, 3. Is it still here? Yes, you know why? It's too big. We'll try it again. 1, 2, 3. Is it still here? No. Are you sure?
Yes.
Do you know where it went?
No.
No,
My
good.
head.
No. If the spirits cooperate, when I count 3, all the paper napkins will come down from heaven. Do you believe that?
In this instance, yes.
This is, watch. 1, 2, 3 from heaven. afternoon. I would like to state for his benefit, the smarter you are, the easier to fool. The closer you are, the easier to fool. And give him a hand for being a good fool. Okay. I said I'm just doing a miscellany of different effects. Some of them from the act. This one came from the act. Watch. Try it again. I showed this to my best friend. He had a concussion. He blew his brains out. Here's the way I showed it to him. Another variation on a theme. 2 matches. Three matches.
Where you gonna put the others?
Where's he going?
I'm gonna put together.
That's a loaded question.
Okay. 3 matches.
You hold one.
I don't want it to go out. Okay, hold this.
Oh, that'd be good.
Yeah, don't burn yourself. I didn't get that one. If I didn't get it, I don't know if you can see this. It's just the head. Can you see the head?
Yeah.
There goes the head.
Oh, my God.
What happened?
Different type of card effect. Whoops. Should take this out. That's extra cards.
Yeah, I know.
Any card. Let's pick on a stranger. Who looks strange to you?
That ain't look strange to me.
They're very strange.
Okay, they picked on you. Name any card. Pardon?
You say name a card.
Yeah, any card.
Okay, 7 of diamonds.
7 of diamonds.
He hasn't
7 of diamonds. 7 of diamonds. 7 of diamonds. 7 of diamonds.
Not there.
No, I got it
Look at this.
already.
It's unusual. Before I came here, I did put one card in my pocket in case somebody named it. Would you come up?
Oh, nice. I don't believe it.
Can you awaken together?
Yeah.
No, come here. Take the 7 of diamonds. I am doing strictly card manipulation. It's a straight deck of cards, 52 cards counting that one. Replace that card in the deck. I didn't want you to place it on top of the deck. Take the 7 of diamonds, place that in the center like this. Here, take the 7 of diamonds.
Oh, no.
Replace that.
She wants to know any place
It doesn't matter. No. I don't want you to place it on top.
Oh,
Place this in the center like this, okay? Now take the 7, oh, that's an 8 of spades. We'll have to change it. Take the 7 of diamonds and replace that. Some people wonder why it comes to the top, so I'll explain it. I'll buckle it so it's the only marked card in the deck. If you watch it, you'll see it rise to the top. Place it face up. Wait. Okay. Face up in the deck. As long as it's face up, this cannot be a 7 of diamonds, that's an ace of spades. So we'll have to change it. Ace of spades, 7 of diamonds. We'll take the 7 of diamonds, place that in the deck, sticking out halfway. Logically, as long as it sticks out of the deck, the top card cannot be a 7 of diamonds, it's a 2 of hearts. Unless you push this in, then probably it might be the 7 of diamonds. Bury this in the deck, and no, that's a 7 of diamonds. We'll bury this in the deck, and no, that's a 7 of diamonds.
please.
Then I'll have to wait, no, 7 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, 7 of diamonds. Take another card before I go crazy. That's a seven of diamonds. That's a seven of diamonds. Replace that. By now, some people wonder how many sevens of diamonds there are. Take the deck, look through it. It's got a straight deck of cards. 51 cards in that deck. I always keep the seven of diamonds
Oh,
in my
no,
pocket.
get out of here. George, take a walk.
Thank you very much.
Stand.
Good. Gotta hammer it up.
He's taking a
I'm
bow.
on TV over here.
I passed by a magic store and saw this trick where a magician took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards from a deck. 1, 2, 3 cards and still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Actually, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know how to do the trick.
Look how many cards he's got. With 6.
This effect I made up a long time ago, somewhere around World War II, but I've made up quite a few hundred tricks. I didn't know how good a trick I made up until I did it at a magic convention for magicians and fooled 1,500 magicians with it. Let's pick on, do you mind coming up here? Stand over here. I want you to remove from the top in a bunch approximately a dozen cards, but in a bunch. Now, whatever I do to my cards are going to happen to yours. Take a few more because you have under a dozen. Okay, whatever I do to my cards will happen to yours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll stop at 10. Therefore, you have 10 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take these cards, hold them. Now, would...
Keep some for tonight.
Keep some. Would you name any number out loud between 1 and 5?
8.
Between 1 and 5, 8. Yeah, that's okay. By the way, let me explain for our benefit. A lot of people do that. So okay, you said how many? You said how many?
4.
4. I'm going to take out a 4. It's a single card. You take this card, put it in with your 10. She said 4. 4 and 10 is 14. You now have 14 cards.
In
Count
my
them.
hand?
Count them.
I can't believe it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. You can sit down now.
No, like, you're in the right.
That's,
Hold it for tonight, though, 14.
The number between 1 and 5 is 3.
Oh, that was just...
it doesn't matter. Now, let me just get this straight here. Deck up. I'll drop it. And we have an ace of hearts on top of the deck. Watch that ace of hearts. We'll change it to an ace of clubs. Put it down here. Next card is an ace of spades. We'll push out the next ace. That's an ace of spades. This is the ace of hearts. The next ace, the ace of diamonds.
Oh.
Now, with these 4 aces, let me do some effects. 4 aces, ace of diamonds, single card on top, ace of hearts. On top, ace of spades, single card on top, ace of clubs. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. This ace I'll leave on top so I can keep track of where I put the other aces. 4 aces. We'll take these 4 aces this time. Ace of diamonds, ace of hearts, ace of spades, ace of clubs, 1, 2, 3, 4. Insert them again in various places in the deck. Get this. And push it home. 4 aces. I'll single out 4 consecutive cards. That's 1 between, 2 between, 3 between, 4 between. Now let's see how close we got to the aces. The ace of clubs, the ace of hearts, the, the ace of spades, and the ace of diamonds. Now, as fast as not yet. As fast as I lost these, or found them, I lost them. Ace of diamonds, ace of spades, ace of hearts, ace of clubs. We have a king of hearts here. That's Mr. Houdini. A black 6 for a 6-sided box. Mrs. Houdini is the queen of hearts. And I need the other 6, the black 6. It's in my pocket. Here it is. Mr. Houdini used to be buried in a 6-sided box. They would draw a curtain up around him so that he's completely covered. Mrs. Houdini would stand on top of the box. She'd count 1, 2, on the count of 3, she'd duck right down behind the curtain. Instantaneously, Houdini was standing on top of the box, and Mrs. Houdini was found buried within that box. These are all close-up effects that you do not see on the stage. I'm going to take out 4 cards. Now, this is a regular deck of cards. I'm using only 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we were playing pinochle, in pinochle, if you got a queen of spades and a jack of diamonds, you'd have 40 points. If you got a second queen of spades and a second jack of diamonds, you'd have 80 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. In pinochle, if you got a queen of spades, a queen of spades, a queen of spades, and a jack of diamonds, that would be cheating. So you have to cheat. The best way you can cheat with these 4 cards is to take out an ace, another ace, another ace, and another ace. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. As an effect, I'm emptying my pocket. Hold your hands ready to catch a baseball. The gentleman. Catch the deck. Don't let it bounce off your hands. Catch it. Shuffle it. Give me 10 cards. I am clean. I have no other cards on me. Count 10 cards. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You hold the rest of the deck, so I can't use it. The object is to make these 10 cards go into this pocket, and let me just verify it again. 1 card at a time. Let's check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. cards. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cards, 1 card in my pocket. Try it again. Riffle it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Another card in the pocket. Riffle them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. 3 cards.
What's he doing?
He still doesn't know how.
2 cards.
He'll give a lesson.
1 card, not yet. This is the rough one. The last card.
Oh, we saw that.
We'll try it this way. I'll take this one. Let's see. Who shall we pick up?
Mary.
My wife is a good trick.
Mary?
Come here, Mary.
Mary, go. Mary.
Mary, you're not a do tricks.
Mary. Go ahead, Mary. Mary, let's go now.
You make them disappear.
Watch how you do this. Have a seat. Everybody will see how I do this. Everybody will see it. Mary, cut the deck, but don't let me see the card you cut at. Not really. Yeah, you look at that bottom card. Now put it in my hand. I put the whole deck on top of it, so it's impossible for me to see through the deck. This is a whispering trick. By doing this and whispering in your ear, I'll tell you what your card is. Can you see it? What? Yes? We'll try it again. Now, you wouldn't believe she's fooled. Look at the card. Place it in my hand. Can you see it? No. Here. Your card's the minus. She's asking how I see it. Look at the card. Try it again.
Would you? No.
Your card's the 8 of hearts. Shall we tell her? Yes. I'm looking at the card over your shoulder. Give her a hand.
That's so nice, see that?
You think you're just taking a hug, you know? You can do that with the baby.
I don't think it is.
Now, you'd be amazed at how people can be fooled. Let's see something. I'm going to do another 4-ace trick, but I'm going to do one that fools magicians. An ace of hearts, an ace of spades, an ace of diamonds, and an ace of clubs. All aces are face up on the table. We'll put 3 cards on this ace, 3 cards on this ace, 3 cards on this ace, 3 cards on this ace. Get rid of the whole deck. The ace of clubs to the last minute is under that pack. 1, 2, 3. This ace we'll put here. The ace of diamonds. 1, 2, 3. This ace. The ace of spades. 1, 2, 3. This ace. All the cards are varied. 7 of clubs, 8 of clubs, 3 of hearts, and the 4 aces are now on top of this one.
Very good.
That is good.
You're all right.
That one you can do on TV or anywhere and never be stuck with it. Let's try anything else. I'm just looking. 1952, and won first prize for the best manipulative trick of the year 1952, right across the United States. I'm going to get on stage. I have a red back deck. We'll turn the deck upside down. It's a red back deck on both sides. According to the back of this card, the face is a back. According to the back of this card, the face is a back. Turn the deck upside down, and we find that we have backs throughout the entire deck. Cut a deck like this to a back, turn it over to a back. Shuffle this either face down or face down. Face down, face down, face down, face down. It's a lousy deck to play cards with. So I'll introduce you to another deck. It's not a double back deck. This is a double face deck. According to the face of this, the back is a face. According to the face of this, the back is a face. Run throughout a deck of cards like this, and we find we have faces throughout. Cut a deck like this to a face, turn it over to a face. Shuffle this either face up or face up. It's a terrific deck for schizophrenics. They have a split personality. They can play by themselves. It's also good for dirty politicians who are two-faced. One difficulty with this deck, if the dealer sees a card you need, he turns it over, gives you a different card. That's why I stick to this other deck, where everyone has a fair chance. Nobody can win, nobody can lose, nobody can play. But there's a deck I prefer to both of these. I don't know if you've ever seen a deck like this, but this is called a straight deck of cards. I'm going to do one more effect, and then Wally is coming in to teach some dancing. This is called a sloppy shuffle. By the time you straighten the deck out, the deck is mixed up.
By the time you straighten it out, it's mixed up.
Now, being a magician, I'll straighten it out by cutting it in half so that we have it all in order. Let's see, can I pick on another, either the gentleman or the lady coming up here? I'm going to do an ESP effect. If I reach in the deck and take out a card and say that's red, that's no trick because you know I can handle cards. We'll do this again. I'll take out a black card, still no trick. If you do it, then we got a damn good trick. Take the cards. Don't let anybody see any cards. Take the top card, don't look at it. Place it face down either here or here. If you think it's black, leave it there. If you think it's red, move it over to the red side. You want it there. Do that to the entire deck of cards, one card at a time. All blacks here, all reds here. Stop. You just made a mistake. Yeah. Because you made a mistake, I'll move these cards forward, and alternate this. Put all the rest blacks here and reds here. Don't make any mistakes. Concentrate. Now, hold it. Name a number out loud between 1 and 10.
7.
Deal out 7 more cards however you want. Stop at the 7. Yeah, that's the 7. You want to put 7 on one bundle?
Sure.
Do you know why he did that? Because he didn't want to cover this mistake over here.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead. Distribute the cards again.
Oh, yes.
If you want to stop at any time, you can. If you want to stop there, you made another mistake. Okay, go ahead for the rest of the time. We have a black bundle here, a black bundle, a red bundle, and a red bundle. The 4 bundles separate. Let's see how well you did. This is all black. This is all red. This is all black. This is all red. Thank you very much. Do me a favor. Wally is coming in. He needs the floor. Move the chairs to...